Hey folks, welcome to Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline. Today we're going to make roasted potatoes with bacon, Parmesan cheese and a spicy garlic butter sauce. So let's sit back and enjoy the ride.
So folks, let's go prep our potatoes for roasting. So here's our ingredients.
For the roasted potatoes, you will need potatoes, olive oil, dried parsley, strips of bacon, kosher salt and black pepper, and garlic powder.
Well folks, first off we're gonna cook us off some bacon strips. Here I got me some pork belly bacon which I'm going to lay down on my wire rack. I have found that cooking bacon in the oven is a lot much more easier to do and there is also less shrinkage. Well folks, here I have my bacon strips all laid out. Now it's time to season it with your favorite seasoning. Here I'm using Uncle Steve's Shake, the original. I will have a link to Uncle Steve's Shake website in the description box below. You just want to sprinkle a light coating of seasoning, and this is optional of course. You can just throw the bacon into the oven as is. The bacon is all seasoned up. Now it's time to put it in a 375-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or cook it to your liking. Now on to our potatoes. Here I have about 2 to 3 pounds of red potatoes which I've washed thoroughly. All you want to do now is cut your potato in half lengthways. After doing this, you want to split those half into two, and then you want to cut them into 1.5 inch pieces. The key is to make sure that all the potato is about the same size so that they will all cook at the same time. Remember to put your potatoes into water when you cut them so that they will not discolor. Well, this is pretty easy enough to do guys. I'll bring you guys back when all the potatoes are done. And in the miracle of time, the potatoes are all cut up. Now we're going to parboil this for about 5 minutes. While the potatoes are boiling, let's go make our garlic sauce, and here's our ingredients.
For garlic butter sauce, you will need unsalted butter, dried parsley, red pepper flakes, kosher salt and black pepper, garlic, Parmesan cheese, fresh parsley.
Well boys and girls, let's get this garlic sauce together. First I'll be going in with about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. Now that we have gotten our 1/4 cup of butter into a bowl, I'm going in with 1 to 2 teaspoons of red chili flakes. This is optional of course, but you know I love my heat. Next in the bowl we'll be going in with 1.5 teaspoons of dried parsley, followed by a couple pinches of kosher salt, about 1/2 teaspoon or so. After the salt we'll be going in with about 2 to 3 cloves of garlic finely grated. Well, here we are. All our ingredients are ready for our garlic butter sauce. We're going to set this aside and I'll bring you guys back for the next step. So remember that bacon, after about 25 minutes, this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. And there you can see it's not overly crispy, but it will get crisp as it starts to cool down. While the bacon is cooling down, here we have our parboiled potatoes, and now we're going to start seasoning them. The first thing you want to do is coat your potatoes with some oil. Here I'm using olive oil, about 1 to 1.5 tablespoons. All you got to do now is give your potatoes a good old toss to make sure it gets properly well coated with that oil. This will help with the crispiness of the potatoes and also help the seasoning to stick. Now that you have gotten your potatoes coated with the oil, it's time to start seasoning them. Here I'm going in with a couple pinches of kosher salt, maybe about a teaspoon or so. Next I'm going in with a couple pinches of a coarse black pepper, maybe about 1.5 teaspoons. Next in the bowl we are going in with about 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried parsley, and we are going to follow up that with about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. Now that our seasonings are down, there's only one thing to do. We're going to give our potatoes a gentle toss to make sure we get it coated with all those lovely seasonings. So our potatoes are all seasoned up. Now it's time to get them onto our baking sheet pan. You want to make sure you spread them evenly across the pan, and this will help it to get crispy on all sides. All you have got to do now is just take your spoon and level out your potatoes as I am doing here. And here's a bird's eye view, and you can see how that oil helps that seasoning to stick. Well folks, our potatoes are ready for baking. We're going to bake them in a 375-degree oven for 45 minutes or until they are tender. While our potatoes are baking away, we're going to take our bacon that we have cooked and we will give it a fine mince. And guys, I will have the full recipe written down in the description box below as well. And in a miracle of time, here's our bacon all minced up and ready to go. Well folks, this is about 25 minutes into the cook and our potatoes are ready to be flipped. And here you can see that lovely golden crust that we have achieved on the outside.
Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click the post notifications for more.
Now that the potatoes are flipped, it's time to go back in the oven for another 15 to 20 minutes. While the potatoes are back in the oven, we're going to make our garlic butter sauce. And here we have all the ingredients in the bowl on a medium-low heat. I'm just going to let the butter melt and let all those other ingredients come together nicely. After a few minutes, you can see the butter has melted and all the other ingredients has been infused into that butter. So our garlic butter sauce are ready for those potatoes. Well, 15 minutes has gone by and our potatoes are done, so I'm just going to dump them into this bowl. There you can see that lovely crust we have on the outside, and the inside is going to be nice and fluffy. Now that we have got all our potatoes into the pool, it's time for the star of the show. That's our spicy garlic butter sauce, and you want to make sure and put a generous amount to get all those potatoes coated with all that buttery goodness. All you got to do now is just take your spoon and give your potatoes a good old toss to make sure you get all that buttery flavor all over them. So guys, now we're going to take these potatoes to the next level and we're going to add our bacon bits. And a generous amount of that too. You can never have too much of bacon. Next, for a bit of color, we're going to be going in with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of freshly chopped parsley. Last but not least, we're going to add about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. Now all you want to do is just give this a good old toss and make sure that all those flavors come together nicely on those potatoes. Well folks, it's that time. Sit back, fasten your seatbelts while I get this plated up and get ready for our drive-by. Let's go!
So boys and girls, here's our Parmesan garlic butter and bacon roasted potatoes, and it was so tasty. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notifications for more videos. See you all on our next cooking journey, and we're out until next time.